Welcome to the Lose Your Big Ass Stomach podcast. I'm your host, Jay Jackson, and my mission here is to help you get rid of that big ass stomach and take back control of your health so that you can look and feel your best by being the best version of yourself, mentally and physically, while destroying the mediocre agenda society is trying to brainwash you into, and breaking our families' generational curses of being unhealthy by being a healthy and fit role model. It's time to set a new standard. It's time to set a new standard of living. If you find the podcast helpful, be sure to hit that follow button because that helps us build a movement. Let's go. In this podcast, I want to talk to y'all about some things that will keep your stomach big as hell. Okay? Now, obviously, if y'all see I'm saying it's keeping your stomach big, you need to do the opposite. Okay? Some of y'all are doing these things and you need to stop doing them. Okay? And some of y'all, when you're trying to lose weight, you start doing these things and you're not aware that these are the things that's causing your stomach not to go down. So we're going to dive right on into it. I've been doing this over 15 years at this point, man, and I just want to help y'all out because I noticed that a lot of folks, when you're putting in the time and effort in the gym with your diet and your stomach getting bigger, you're like, damn, every time you look at that, it ain't going down. Every time you step on the scale ain't going down. I want to help you eliminate all that frustration and discouragement today. Okay, so let's get into it. The first thing that you got to stop doing if you want to have a flat stomach, you got to stop doing things. If you're working out and you're dieting and it's not working, guys, you can't keep doing what's not working. I see a lot of folks who be like, yeah, man, I know what to do. I know what to do to lose this stomach, man. I just got to start doing. Guys, if you knew what to do, you wouldn't have the stomach. Who in the hell go voluntarily just get a big old ass stomach? Who go voluntarily gain 50 to 100 pounds? That's not how this works. Most folks want to be millionaires. Not just to have the money, but the lifestyle that it provides them, right? The nice car, the nice beautiful home, the beautiful kids, the dog, the traveling. That's why folks want the money. But guess what? The folks who be saying, I know what to do. Well, why the hell you don't have it? Because they don't know what to do. If they knew what to do, they'd have it. And so, guys, if you keep saying to yourself, I just got to just work out, I just got to do the nutrition thing, and you're not doing it, guys, obviously it's something that what you're doing is not right. You don't know what to do. Otherwise, you'd have a flat stomach. You'd have abs. This is a very humbling thought, though, because I went through the same thing in my fitness coaching business. Like, I didn't always have all these podcast episodes. I didn't always have hundreds of thousands of followers on social media. No, I used to be a nobody. And in some people's eyes, I'm still a nobody. You know what I'm saying? And so, it's okay. But back then, when I didn't really have too much, no followers, none of that, I was like, damn, all I got to do is just post content and get my clients results. But for some reason, my audience wasn't growing. I wasn't getting no clients. Barely had any client results. And I had to come to a realization, man, if I keep doing what I'm doing, I might fuck around and go broke. I got to change something up. And so I started investing in business coaches because I didn't want to go through the shame of getting into my 30s, still being broke, getting into my 30s, having to pull up to the gas station, look at my bank account. Do I have enough money today? Having a penny pinch when I'm buying healthy food. I ain't want to live like that, y'all. Some people to each his own, but I ain't want to live like that. I don't want to have to pull up to the gas station, see how much money I can or can't spend on something that I know I need. Seeing how much money I got to spend on food on something that I know I need. I don't want to have to live like that. And so I was like, okay, let me start investing in coaches and so I can figure this whole content thing out. Investing in business coaches and mentors to figure out how to build a real business. That way it's not a hobby. You see what I'm saying? So some of y'all, you got to go through the same exact journey. You putting in the effort. You putting in the time. I'm proud of you. I know this shit ain't easy. I'm proud of you. Coach Jay Jackson is proud of you for putting in the work. You not being a couch potato. You still might have a little bit of big ass stomach behavior from time to time, but that's okay. It's okay. We all family. I'm not saying you got to be perfect, but what I'm saying is, if what you've been doing ain't working, if you keep doing what's not working, ain't that like the definition of insanity? Keep doing the same shit, expecting a different result. I'm gonna give you the benefit of the doubt. I'm gonna say that you're not insane. You just hadn't heard me tell you need to change some shit up, or you go keep getting the same results. And in some cases, some of y'all getting the same results as you getting bigger. And so you might be 30 pounds overweight right now. You might be 50. Shit, in a couple more months, a couple of years or two, how much worse could it get if you keep doing the same shit you've been doing? And so it's time to make a change. It's time to change up something that you're doing. Okay? That's number one. Humble yourself. Humble yourself. You don't have it all figured out. If you did, you have the results. Number two, I was talking to somebody the other day, and they was talking about, yeah, man, this is actually a client who joined my coaching program, actually. And she was talking about how, her family, like growing up, they, big bone. Baby, we just big bone. You know what I'm saying? We just big bone. It's okay. You go be like auntie. You go be like nana. You just big bone, baby. That's what a lot of folks in the black culture, they will be saying, you big bone. I ain't really heard too many white folks say that. But in the black folk, we big bone. And a lot of people think that that's the reason they be overweight. They had them big old chunky arms, the great auntie arms. You know what I'm saying? And even when I was growing up, y'all, I used to hear this, because I grew up with my granddad and his two sisters, and all three of them was not overweight. They were obese. Yes, this is difference. Overweight, you 20, 30 pounds overweight. But once you get to 50 to 100 pounds overweight, yeah, your ass is obese. That's how my granddad and his two sisters were. And, I used to hear them say big bone. You know what I'm saying? And then as I went to college, I went to Georgia State University. I studied nutrition and exercise science. And I remember just sitting in Anatomy 2, one of my classes. It was Anatomy 2. And I was just waiting for my professor to talk about big bone people. and I started to feel dumb as the class progressed, because I never heard her say big bone. And I'm being straight up real and honest, because I thought there was a thing. People are big bone. Some people are just big bone. Never heard her say it. And so it led me to understand and believe and realize, and because I started doing some digging of my own, I'm looking for big bone skeletons. You know what I'm saying? Because we had to study all the bones, the ligaments, the muscles, the tendons. We had to study all this. I don't talk about all those different things with y'all, because a lot of it there's no reason for y'all to know all that shit. You just gonna be like, what I need to know about a tendon for? And so, anyway, never seen a big bone. Never discovered it. You can Google it yourself. Look for a big bone skeleton. Your ass ain't gonna find it. You might find a taller skeleton. You might find a shorter skeleton. You might even find a midget skeleton. Or that might not be the politically correct thing, the little people skeleton. That's what you might find. But your ass ain't gonna find no big bone skeleton. So my whole point behind saying this, some of y'all have been lied and told that you big bone. But I'm about to keep it real with you. I want you to listen to what I'm about to say to you. Listen. Pay attention. Open your ears. If your dog barking, tell your dog to shut up. If your kids talking, tell they had to shut up too. If your baby mama, I don't care who talking, tell everybody to shut up, because you need to listen to what I'm about to tell you. You're not big boned. You have big boned habits. You have big boned habits. Okay? What does that mean? You've been raised off eating soul food. You've been raised on drinking sweet teas, lemonades. Back in my days, it was Kool-Aid. Yes, me and my cousins, we used to compete who could make the sweetest Kool-Aid. Yes, that's what you was raised on. You have big boned habits. I did too, guys. Okay, I was raised like that too. But guess what? I was so active, I didn't get big. Because they had me in sports. They had me playing football. They had me running track. But I felt it. I felt it because I had brain fog all the time. I felt it because I had eczema all on my hands and on my feet, and acid reflux. Once I cleaned up my eating habits and I stopped having big boned eating habits, guess what happened? All them health issues started going away. I'm talking about as a little kid, y'all. And I remember I was 11, 12 years old, going to sleep, tears running down my face. I'm like, damn, I feel like I'm about to die. But as a kid, I didn't know how to articulate these things to my granddad and his two sisters. I didn't know what to tell them. I just felt like I was dying, eating all that pork, and man, we used to be eating smothered pork chops every day. Cornbread, macaroni and cheese. It was like eating Thanksgiving every day. But I was just so active, so I wasn't a big kid. But I felt it, and I didn't know how to articulate it. Some of y'all, you're gaining all this weight. Some of y'all, your kids are gaining all this weight. And you're like, damn, why my baby gained so much weight? Because they're eating like you. And in some cases, you're eating like them. You buy your kids these Pop-Tarts. You letting your kids eat pancakes and waffles for breakfast every day, muffins for breakfast. And so you eating what they eating instead of setting the example of what they should be eating like. And so as you just imagine in a world where you're eating the right way, you built a healthy relationship with food, you start losing weight. And this happens to my clients all the time, because a lot of my clients have kids. They lose weight, and then as they lose weight, they're teaching their kids how to eat the way they're eating. Now their kids start losing weight. Can you imagine the level of fulfillment that you're going to have, the level of purpose that you start to move with on a daily basis, because you're not just doing things for you, but you're doing it for the people that you love and care about? Isn't that the reason that we have kids? Guys, I don't have kids right now. Y'all have no idea how fulfilling it is I can't say for all coaches, but for me, it is so fulfilling for me that I'm able to get online on social media and just speak my truth, my opinion, and also facts, because I've gone to college and I've studied these things. I'm not just talking about, oh, I lost 100 pounds, so do what I do. No, I didn't lose 100 pounds. So I studied this shit. Like, I learned the ins and outs of what works, what doesn't work. Not just book smart, but through my clients. I have clients who are dropping 30, 50, 100 plus pounds. It is so fulfilling to see my clients dropping this kind of weight. Like this past week, one of my clients, shouts out to Brandon Dix. He's down over 50 pounds. Guys, some of y'all need to lose 50 pounds. Imagine what your life would be like being 50 pounds down. How would you live your life? What would you do differently? Some of y'all would start going on vacation. Some of y'all would launch businesses and start getting on social media. Some of y'all be lonely. You don't have a love life because you're overweight. Like, I talk to people about these things all the time on my game plan calls. People be crying because they're lonely. People be crying because they can't be as productive and active in their life as they want to be because of the weight, because of their lack of energy. They can't build that business. They can't enjoy themselves with their family because they're tired. Guys, that's what you call low quality of life. And it's not to say that you're a bad person, but how do you increase your quality of life? This is what I love doing. This is why I talk about losing that big ass stomach, because when you lose that stomach, you drop 30, 50, 100 plus pounds, guess what happens? You feel better about you. You start having more energy to do more. When you start having more energy and you feel better about yourself, guess what else happened? The energy in the room changes. Your family, your kid, they're like, man, you glowing. Man, I feel more motivated and inspired just being around you. Your friends, they start calling you more often. They start wanting to do things with you more often. You start wanting to do things more often because you feel better about yourself. You're not hiding behind your clothes, so now you can pull your shirt off and feel like that guy. You're not hiding behind that big old ass t-shirt looking like Casper at the beach or the pool. Now you can wear your birthday suit at the beach, at the pool, and feel good about yourself. Feel proud. Not feel like you being judged. You see what I'm saying? Very, very important. So stop trying to do the things that you, just because your family and your parents, that's the way they were raised. Guys, at some point you have to wake up and develop your own way of thinking, your own values. Just because your parents or your parents' parents didn't value eating the right way, or maybe in some cases they didn't know. Now you know. You hear it. I'm telling you. And so now it's up to you to make that change. Now, if you continue to live the way you've been living, that's a choice. You can't keep blaming your parents, oh, well, I was raised this way. No, at some point, your ass got to make your own decision. If you okay with being overweight and developing high blood pressure and developing sleep apnea, hooked up to a CPAP machine trying to date, imagine trying to date and you got to go to sleep with a CPAP machine on and the person you're trying to date laying in the bed next to you, you're like, oh, Lord, I got to hook up. I don't want to die. I don't want to clink out while I'm asleep, baby. Hell no. Who want to live like that? Some of y'all, you in relationships and you married or you just in a relationship and your partner didn't sign up for you gaining so much weight you got to get on a CPAP machine. Come on, man. You got to want to do better. Not just for yourself, but for them. You got to stop being selfish. Okay? Then the last thing is this. This is very important, guys. I want y'all to listen to this. So, one of the oldest men in my family is 90 years old. We call him our Big Daddy, right? That's what we call him, you know. And he had a birthday yesterday. And so we went out there, and he was sitting in a chair, and I'm a big observer. Like, I just pay attention to things, and I just saw how, you know, a lot of family members came out and they were admiring him. They, you know, they showed their respects, and, you know, I was just thinking, what a life that he had to live to be able to live to be 90. There's people that not even these days, they're not even living to be 40 because of the way that they're eating. And our Big Daddy, he wasn't like morbidly obese or nothing. You know what I'm saying? He's not morbidly obese. He make a lose maybe 10 pounds or something like that, maybe 15 pounds. But it just proves to show that he was eating fairly well. And I would go so far as to say he would exercise and move around a little bit too, you know, before he got to be 90 years old. And so I say all this to say, a lot of folks these days who are trying to lose weight, you're thinking short-sighted. You do a diet or a workout program, and you spend 1 or 2 weeks and the weight don't go down, you quit. And you go back to your old way of living. And the old way of living, what it got you? That big old ass stomach. When you step on the scale, the weight ain't going down. And you keep quitting just because you're thinking short-sighted. But when you think long-term, what are the habits and routines that I need to have to lose this weight and keep it off? That's those are the thoughts that need to be in your head when you're thinking long-term. Because me looking at our Big Daddy, I'm like, dang, I want to be able to live to be that old. You know what I'm saying? So I can be able to share wisdom and, you know, my experiences in life with the little kids that are coming up behind me and have all that admiration and respect. But how can you do that if you can't even take care of yourself? If you can't be healthy along the journey? You got to be willing to learn the habits, learn the routines, learn the principles, and not beat yourself up if you don't drop a pound or 2 in a week. Or shit, if you don't drop a pound or 2 in 2 or 3 weeks. You got to get rid of this quick fix mindset. This, if I don't drop 15, 20 pounds in a month, I'm going to quit and just go back to the way I was eating. Well, if you go back to the way you was eating, guys, it's going to get worse. You're going to go from being 30 pounds overweight to 50. And then from being 50 pounds overweight to being 75 to 100 pounds overweight. This what be happening to folks. Because you keep quitting, and every time you quit and go back to your old eating habits, shit gets worse. So you might have just been overweight. Now you got high blood pressure. Then you try again. Don't work. Now you quit. Now you have high blood pressure, you're overweight, you gain some more weight, now you're type 2 diabetic. Stop quitting. Live this shit. It's got to be a lifestyle. Guys, how do y'all think I create all these podcasts? I've made it a lifestyle. I built it into my life. I baked it into my life to create content on a weekly basis. In the beginning, it was tough. It wasn't a part of my routine. And then over time, it became easier and easier and easier. These are the things you got to do with your life. You have to bake it into just who you are to want to eat right. Into who you are to want to exercise. If you want to have a flat stomach. If you want to be able to look good naked. You want to look good in your clothes. You want to be able to be a positive role model and example for your family and kids. Guys, there's so many people on social media trying to share their highlight reel about how they make all this money, got this big old house, they be traveling, they got all these cars and all this. Man, fuck all that. That's cool. But what about the people who coming up behind you? And even if you don't have kids, you don't have a lot of family, guys, there's people in your community that you could be helping. You don't have to be some celebrity. You don't have to be and dare I say, a lot of these celebrities, they ain't got their shit together neither. A lot of them be crazy. You be seeing them all on the news, doing all kind of crazy stuff. And so we need more people in our local communities to be the example. Like, one of the reasons I love having this little Corvette, I can pull up and go back to my high school. I can go to like my community where I grew up at, and little black boys and little black girls can see these type of cars, and they can be like, oh man, what do you do? And I don't have to say I'm a pro athlete. I don't have to say I'm a celebrity. I can just say I'm a businessman. And then that makes them think, oh wow, I don't have to go to the NFL or be a celebrity to have my dream car. Like, I grew up having Hot Wheels. I don't know if they still have Hot Wheels out these days, but I grew up playing with Hot Wheels. Imagine if I would have seen a business person driving around in a Hot Wheel and not a pro athlete. I'm like, shit, boy, I need to go to school to be a businessman. You see what I'm saying? We could do the same thing. You could do the same exact thing. You can make life look sexy for your community. It doesn't have to be the rappers and the athletes and the pro athletes who do this. It could be you. You can have a nice, beautiful house. You can have a nice body. You could be healthy, playing with your kids in the yard. And people will see you playing with your kids in the yard. They'll be like, wow, I want to be in shape like him. I want to be in shape. I want to be the fit mom like her. And then they be like, man, I'm about to start working out. You could be that person who influenced them. It don't have to be the celebrities or the pro athletes. But you got to think long term. You got to think long term. Because when you think long term, you're not thinking about the hack to lose the weight. You're thinking about the habits. Replace hacks with habits. Because when it's a habit, it's something that you do consistently. Some of y'all who are gaining all this weight, you have all these health-related issues from your eating habits and how you exercise, lack of exercise. It's habits. If you replace the way your eating habits are, you start to lose the weight. If you replace your lack of activity in the gym with going to the gym 3-4 days a week, walking 3-4 days a week, you ain't even got to do pro athlete sprints. You don't have to do none of that. You don't have to work out like an athlete. Walk. Lift weights. These are just habits, guys. If you change your habits, you literally change your life. It's really that simple. I ain't no better than none of y'all. The only difference is I've become aware of what habits I needed to develop in my life to sustain a certain way of living. If I want to keep my abs, or I want to keep a nice chest, I want to keep my arms, my legs looking nice, I want to stay looking real nice and sexy and just vibrant, my skin just glowing. I know I got to give y'all something good to look at. If I want to keep these things, I got to keep the habits that I have. Stop doing these habits. I start having too much big ass stomach behavior. Get what gonna happen? Coach J gonna have a big old ass stomach. And get what else gonna happen? Your ass gonna be like, why the hell I'm following him? He got a big old ass stomach. Hell no, I ain't doing that. I'm gonna keep my big ass stomach. He doing that. Nope. I don't want to give you no excuses. Alright? But anyway, these are things you need to do if you want to lose weight and keep it off and have a flat stomach. Alright? Other than that, we out of here. Let go. Yo, appreciate you for tapping in and listening to the podcast episode today. Hopefully you found it valuable. And if you did and you want to learn more about how I can help you lose the big ass stomach, transform your body, and get your health on point, DM me real results over on Instagram at JJacksonOfficial for more information. And I'll reach back out to you to do what I can to help you hit those health and fitness goals. Let's get it.